Okay, we're starting the recording. And so what is this? Well, I've moved and I've got more space, and there's a room downstairs which is going to be the lab. And in the lab at the moment there is a Atari 130XE with a copy of Star Raiders, which for me is one of the best games ever. And I've been playing it again, and I had this idea, right, just play it, record it. I've done that, and we'll see how it goes. So this evening I played one game and see how far I get with it. And this is a game that came out in 1979, and in some ways has never been bettered. And it's one of those things in the video game industry. Everybody's chasing, the polygons. 1979, there weren't a lot of polygons. In fact, this game doesn't have any. But it's a 3D space shoot 'em up. If you're familiar with Elite, it's going to look familiar. But let's get this straight. This came first. This game came before Elite in 1979, and you can see where Elite by David Braben and Ian Bell. Ian Bell is often forgotten, but it was a duo that made that game. You can see that they got their inspiration. They must have got some inspiration from Star Raiders. So here we go. And the mission has begun, and we're looking at the galactic map. I'm picking that group of 3 enemies in that sector. Put my shields off to try and conserve energy. I'm not so good at that. I'm trying to jump into the sector and keep that cursor in the middle of the screen, and I've landed in the sector, which is awesome. And I just need to quickly check to make sure. Is it recording? Yeah. Alright. So I've engaged the enemy in the sector, and strategy here is try and keep the enemy sort of where I'm putting it, that area of the screen. And if it gets too central, then they'll hit me. And he actually came at me and took a hit. I've just got some damage. What is the damage? Engines destroyed. That's okay. We don't really need engines. I'm just going to put this on full screen. Video full screen. Here we go. That's better. So how are we doing? We've still got got an enemy coming in. This is the long range scanner. I was just looking at that there, and you can see in the bottom right there's how far away the enemy is. It's negative because he's behind me right now, and he's really hitting me in the rear there. So you could switch to a rear view with weapons there, but the controls are swapped over. It's just the same as Elite. It does make it rather tricky trying to get him. Come on. Oh, that's close. It can be quite difficult, this. Especially the controls. I've got him. Okay, let's see. So that sector is now cleared, which is great. I've got damaged engines, but I think I decided, there's no need to. I can work without engines. So I'm jumping to the new sector. Now, if I let that drift off, where I land on the map is going to be, off center and further away from the enemy, and also the star bases when we come to. Look at them. This game is in 8K. It's a written assembler in 8K, the whole game. And there are so many beautiful touches, design touches, and this is amazing. So I've cleared the sector, so this is great. And so I might as well carry on, even though I've got some damage at the moment. Turning off my shield can be a bit dangerous because there are asteroids. Sometimes you can hit an asteroid Oh, no enemies. Why? Because they actually had moved. Because every 50.5 star dates, they all move across the sectors, and they're trying to surround star bases. So that's what's going on here. I almost got hit by an asteroid there. But, so we have his behind me at the moment. I might switch. Yeah, switch to her. In fact, they were both behind me. I've got one on the rear. That one I managed to get to go over me. And that one is cleared. So this is a pretty good start. Oh no, that starbase has been surrounded. So what I'm going to do is jump to a sector that only has 2 enemies at most. And you can see that from that symbol. Because then I can clear it as quickly as possible. But I have to do this within 1 stardate. Otherwise, I will lose the starbase, and I really don't like losing starbases. Okay, here we go. I'll get this guy. Come on. And there's a bit. The pressure starts to build up at this point because you know the starbase. If I can't get rid of this guy quickly enough, I will lose the starbase, and he's gone behind me now. So it's just okay. No, and then he's gone in front. And the problem with the damage is. I was lucky there. Damage can take out your weapons, for example. Then I would have to go and dock. I'd probably lose the starbase. So at the moment I've lost my engines. The computer is damaged. The long-range scanner is out. So I'm going in for repair. I've jumped into a sector with a starbase. And if... That was a pretty good one. If you've got the centering of the stick right while you do your hyperspace, and when you land, you can steer with your inertia towards the starbase to dock as quickly as possible. So I did a pretty good one there. I'm waiting for the docking to complete, which it has done, and now we'll move on to the next. What am I doing? Go. Right. At a certain point I had to have dinner. But, anyway. I've got my shields off. It's important to remember to turn the shields on, because 1 hit without shields and it's game over. 1 hit without remember that. 1 hit without shields and permadeath. Right. I have a special name for that these days, but at one time that was actually normal. So what's going on? It looks like I've got an enemy near me, but it might have been an asteroid. Confusing matters. Whoop. About 100. Yeah, here he comes. I blocked the shot with my shot. Still, I've got a long way to go to get really expert at this game, but the last time I played this game a lot was like 30 years ago, plus 35 years ago. So I'm just moving towards the next enemy. I'm taking off my shields. Turn the shields. You need to turn the shields. Thank you. And here they come. I took that one on the nose. I lost computer and shields are down, and so I just jumped, blind jump. I don't know where I'm going. And I've just landed in an enemy sector again. I'm just jumping out there. And it happened again. I'm moving the cursor upwards to try and get somewhere where there is... That will have... Oh gosh. Where am I? By luck, I happened to glide at a star base. I don't know how I did that. Subconscious thing going on there. So now I'm moving. Yeah, you notice I'm using a long-range scanner because my computer is destroyed. So I've got no way to find it by looking at the forward view. I have to use the long-range scanner. And There's a technique for doing that. Come on. There we are. Orbit established. Excellent. So while I'm waiting for the repair, I can... maybe I should turn the shields off. Shields off. That's why the screen is red, because I've got my shields on, but they're not working. There we go. Let's jump there, where there are two. Computer on, shields off. Energy. There we go. Next one, turn shields on. And he's right on top of me. And whoa. Ow. And I lost the computer again immediately. And I lost my shields again. That is not good. And I'm all the way off to one side. I know, I think I'm deliberately trying to jump to a starbase on a blind jump. I think I did it as well. I did. Just what the thing about this that's so beautiful about the game is that there are so many ways to compensate for damaged systems and for situations that arise. You've got no shields, you have to jump out immediately. One hit and it's game over. You don't have time to set the destination, so you can just jump and drag it deliberately off center to pull yourself across the galactic map. These things, this is just genius. It's amazing. Anyway, there we go. And I think at this point I had dinner, so yeah, and I think I let it run a bit. So here we go again. This is after refueling. There we go. Right, shields on. Where are we at? Ooh, someone's behind me. In front now. You can see that on the bottom right. That's the number. If it's negative, he's behind me. If it's positive, he's in front of me. Ah, yes, that's nice. Notice the game slows down when there are explosions. Just to put this in perspective, 1979, it's running on an 8-bit 1 megahertz processor. You heard right, 1 megahertz. What are you doing? I just jumped out. More systems damaged. Limping. Right, let's jump to this starbase. I've got the computer is destroyed, so I have to line it up high. Oh, but I did a good job there. I think. Where did it go? So this is the no. Oh right, yeah. You try to, yeah. You can sort of rotate the thing around and move forward and back so that you take it to the maximum extent to know that you're actually lined up with it. There's always a way to locate the starbase, though sometimes it can get pretty gnarly. If your long-range scanner is destroyed, your computer will only ever get damaged. You'll never lose both, because then you would never be able to find it. But it's actually quite hard if the computer is damaged and you don't have the long range. It's tough, because you don't know whether it's behind you or in front of you. There is a way of telling, even there, because you can get a feel for how far away a target is by how much moving your controls causes the computer display. When a damaged computer, you always get you still get the little radar. The quicker it moves across when you scan, the further away the enemy is due to angles. And so it is still possible, if you've got no long-range scanner but a damaged, all you have is that radar, you can still dock. It's fiddly, So at the moment everything seems to be going reasonably well. This is fairly normal to have all this damage, because this is playing at the hardest level. Someone's coming up behind me there. And here we go. Let's see what we get. Alright. And yeah, so the slowing down when there's an explosion is just more computer processing that's required for the explosion, so everything slows down. And it actually works, though. I think it adds to the game. So I'm doing all right. So you can see he's coming. It's up 400, 300. He's coming at me. I can see it. 200. It start to engage about now at around 120. Took that straight on the nose. Blocked that shot. I had it locked on. There is a thing where the computer locks onto the target, like 100%, and fires both photons at the left and right. I don't like using that too much because it's risky. It puts your enemy in the centre where they're most likely to hit you. Okay, this is now fairly... Oh, there was only one guy in this sector, so this is looking actually all really good. It looks like everything's under control. I shouldn't have any problem here to complete this mission and ensure the safety of all 6 star bases. So there's a star base waiting in the sky. I didn't quite get that jump right. That's interesting. I think it was on a... They moved. Right. Shooting as you go in could be a good tactic to block the initial shots. Oh, come on, one hit already. What's the damage, John? Photons damaged, so now I can only shoot on the right. Or sometimes it's only on the left. One photon. Damn. Computer's destroyed. My photons are damaged. That's like, this is going to be really difficult. I've got to use the long range scanner. Damn. Don't know if you saw that. You see this flashing. That flashing means that my shields are damaged. So when the shields are damaged, they flash on and off. If you get hit while it's flashed off, it's game over. I actually took a hit. You heard it there, but I took a hit on damaged shields, which means there was like a 50-50 chance of game over there. I just luckily survived. That was pretty intense. Turn those shields off. Stop the flickering. Thank you. So I've still got my 6 star bases, but all the remaining sectors, they're either 3s or 4s. Well, except that one. It seemed to move twice. The problem was that my radio was damaged. So because it was damaged, it wasn't updating. So when the radio got fixed, you saw it move because it updated it. And then there was the normal stardate move. So that's one of the other things that happens, is that when your radio gets destroyed, you don't know if your star bases are being attacked. So then you have to make a call. You can try to jump into a sector believing that they're still there, because that's when it was last time before the radio was damaged. Or you can decide to go to the star base and get yourself... Ah, the shield's down! Get out of there! The thing is, if your starbase, I'm trying to do a blind jump here. Let's see if I get it. I got it. Look at that. And I remembered where to jump, and I just where I was and where the starbase was, and it's always feels really good when you get that right. So I was saying, you know, sometimes you don't have time to repair and you have to take a gamble. Well, so I think I'm a little worried about that cluster in the middle there. Could be that, so you see I'm having a think of where to go. I don't think that was really such a smart choice to go to that one. Of course that's hindsight, because I was here the first time. Hey, shields, please, thank you. I've taken a hit already. There's a quicker way to find out, because that photon's destroyed. Actually, I can tell from the shoot. So I'm going for a blind jump again. I didn't make it this time. It was not far off. I'd say, okay, go to that starbase instead, because I've noticed that there's a big cluster of enemy sectors. Enemy controlled sectors. So let's guide that in. Very nice. Little nudge. Line it up. Go to, let's have a look at the map. See what we've got to do. So I'm still okay with my 6 star bases. The thing is, it can take a lot of effort to get rid of a 4 sector. Oh, look at that. I think they're about to surround. And I think, did I spot that? Okay, yeah, I'm going there because if I get rid of that sector, then they're not going to be able to. Timing-wise, though, I can clear that sector at the wrong moment, and then it's taken. It's blank, and it gets taken up by someone else, and then the starbase is surrounded anyway. 8K, did I mention this is an 8K game? Wouldn't it be great if games came out that had this depth? Maybe they do. Right? You know, games that have this kind of depth. Please tell me. Jeez, I almost died there. Did you see that shot? My shields are down. I mean, it's not like I haven't tried to find this kind of experience again since 1979, but maybe I've not been looking at the right games. Damn it. Got a problem here. My starbase has been surrounded. My shields are down. I'm jumping to the starbase that is surrounded. I only have 1 star date. I have to get fixed and jump out and destroy the enemies. This is getting tense here. Now, it can happen that you're trying to do this and the starbase is destroyed while you're in the middle of being repaired. So that's tragic when that happens, but again, another level of depth that's just utterly amazing for a game from 1979 in 8K on a 6502 at 1 megahertz. And you know, the graphics are not anything to write home about, obviously. For the time they were. Because for the time in 1979, this really was cutting edge, okay? But that's not, it doesn't matter. When you're playing the game, it doesn't matter about the graphics. The gameplay draws you in. You care. I care about this starbase. That whole starbase is, I've got to clear this sector. I'm taking damage. This is beginning to look grim. I can't afford another hit. I mean, come on. My shields are down. 1 hit and I'm dead. Come on. Oh my word. I've still got 1 more enemy. I can't. 1 hit and I'm... Oh. Dear me. That had me going when I was playing the game. It had me going again there. You imagine at that point. And this kind of thing happens when you play the game. It's random. Every game is different, right? Procedural. Starbase surrounded. You've got to be joking. And my shields are down, and I've got another starbase surrounded. I was strategically. I'm wasn't doing... Come on! You see, I'm getting nervous now. I'm messing up the docking procedure. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There it is. It's definitely surrounded, and the next sector I've got to clear out at least 3. I'm lining it up and getting this ready to go. So the moment the docking is... the repair is complete, off we go. Turn the computer on. I'm just going to leave the shields on. I haven't got really a chance to muck about here. I need to clear this sector, saved by starbase. Come on. Straight on the nose, but luckily no damage. I already know what happened. But alright. Okay, 2. Right. Pulling it together here. That's it. One more. They see he's holding back. Strategically, it makes sense for him not to engage, and they can win the starbase. Sometimes they run away from you. You have to chase them. This is. I'm not joking. Again, another level of depth. But he's going behind me. I have to shoot him. I did it though. Oh, that felt good. This is intense. You don't need to see the star base in all its pixelated in all its polygon with a billion polygons to care. All that matters is that you care. The game draws you in so that you care. And once you've done that, you've won. That's the kind of game I want to play. So I was saying, if you know of games that you see this and say this, because I gave up looking. To be fair, right? Because I've bought so many games, played so many games that fell short. They have to live up, compare with this. You know, it's not. This is not nostalgia. This is not nostalgia. It's a bloody good game. Okay, now you notice it still doesn't show that it was cleared because my radio's been damaged. So I'm going to go back and get some repairs. Okay, that was a fairly good. I'm a bit more relaxed now because I'm doing a bit better with the hyperspace. There's still a danger that Starbase could get surrounded, because I've got 4 coming in on this guy where I am now. Oh, but they seem to have moved out. They've separated. We'll pick that one. Here the audio keeps cutting out, but I don't know what that's about. This is recorded on a CRT TV that has a DVD, writable DVD in it. I might want to find a better way. But oh, come on. Jump. Lost my shields. And there's still an enemy in this sector. Now I'm trying again. I'm deliberately off centre to try and... Because if you just hit H to jump into hyperspace and you keep it in the centre, you jump back to the same sector that you were. Okay, that didn't work, but we'll try again. Get into the sector with the starbase. Here we go. I overshot that time. You'll notice how I haven't really used my engines. I don't really use them. I don't see the point of the engines. Well, there is a point to the engines when you're chasing them down. But when they come to you, you don't really need them. You see that lovely touch, that again, that there are engines that really, a lot of the gameplay, it doesn't matter about the engines. It's like when you're fighting, I've not really seen that there's any difference whether you're moving or not. But when they are running away from you and you have to track them down, then you have to start using your engines. And it means that there is no part of this game that is irrelevant. You use all of it. The damage systems on here, we haven't really seen it all. Well, the way that they can interact with situations that can arise. We haven't seen them all, because I tell you, every time you play this is a different story. But this is, I've never seen it equalled. Again, if you know of a video game where it is equalled or better, let me know. I was a huge fan of Descent. I played Descent a lot, but it didn't have any damage system really. I always wanted to make a space game. I think it really holds up. So I was, I don't know what I did there. It's like I didn't realise that the sector, maybe my computer was destroyed, I don't know. Oh yeah, the computer was destroyed. So I didn't realise there was nothing in the sector. I jumped just outside the sector, so I'm just trying to get it. It's harder to keep it on track without the crosshairs. Drifted off. Now I'm trying to find the space station without any computer, so I have to use the long-range scanner. So what I'm trying to do is put it in front and then adjust it until, and in fact actually there, because I don't have the engines, what I did was I used hyperspace and then abort the hyperspace. It's a useful trick for dealing with engines that have been damaged or destroyed. Again, beautiful, where you have two uses of hyperspace. You can use it as an emergency measure to get you to the space station, or to get you away from enemies, of course, as well. So just waiting for it to dock. Finish repairs. There's this lovely little thing, drone, that comes out to repair you, but I'm always looking to go out to the map, so you haven't seen that. Okay, I didn't get damage there. It's always a relief. That one's just gone over the top. Try and bring it round underneath. That was, he was just out of range with that shot. Okay. My computer's gone again. So I'm using the long-range scanner. I can see two enemies. It's tricky using. You have to remember. I've showed a picture. Oh, get out of there! You can see it. When you're playing this, you're using an old-style joystick rather than controllers that you have now, and then there's a keyboard. So it's a tricky thing. You need two hands to operate the keyboard. Sorry, the controller, and then you need to press the keys on the keyboard. So it's actually quite tricky to switch the different views in the middle of combat. This is part of the game as well. For example, if I switch to aft and forward, I actually move my whole hand over while I'm controlling the joystick, and I may use my little finger to select the A and the F keys. It's part of the fun. So let's get this docking done. I messed that up completely. So I put it in front of me, and then you rotate, push forward and back, right, to change the tilt, the pitch, sorry. And you can see when I do that, if you push it until you can see when it's got the maximum distance, that means it's in front of you. Here we go. That's how you do that navigation when you haven't got your other equipment working. All right, so we have 5 sectors left to clear. I think the emergencies are over. It doesn't look like I'm going to have to worry about my star bases anymore, so we're past the stressful part. Although, you know, one mistake and game over. Anyway, come on. Get the guy. Thank you. And then there's... You may notice as well that these enemies, they do look suspiciously like TIE fighters. 1979, Star Wars was 1976. It's definitely been inspired by Star Wars. They're nasty, those. And yeah, they damaged the with no computer again. You haven't seen the damaged long-range scanner. That's funny. It has a flickering mirror image. She's very... Again, it's brilliant. It's like you get the true image and the reflection. It's brilliant. I mentioned 8K, didn't I? Yeah. So you have to ask, you know, if in the AAA game space, right, we're not getting games that at least manage to do this, then what's the point? And that's why I'm a bit cynical about AAA games. You know, it's not the principle, it's just that I think we can do better, and I think we should do better. But again, I will say, no. I don't. It's difficult. I can't afford to buy every single game, either time or money, you know. And I don't believe any of the reviews. Too many times I've looked at reviews. They say, "Oh, you must get this game." It's like, "Oh, this game's got 10 out of 10." I play it and I go, "No." Right, this guy's staying behind me. Now we've got another. What's gone now? Computer damaged again. I've just lost the numbers. When the computer's damaged, it makes it harder to know if the enemy's in front of you or behind you when it's damaged. Those numbers, I don't use the two left and middle. I don't really use those. Range is very useful. You use that when the computer's damaged. So you see the computer's damaged. I'm going, where is he? He's behind me. I'm waiting for him to come in front of me, and it's disorientating. I could switch to the long-range scanner. I might do that in a minute. No, I've gone off. I don't see him. No, there's two lines of him. Here again. Those nasty thingies. Xylons, not Cylon. Xylon. Little Battlestar Galactica. That's why I didn't change to the long-range scanner. It's destroyed. So this is annoying. I have a damaged computer and destroyed long-range scanner. So I'm going to try and get repaired. And this is the one where, if you're not careful, you can get confused as to whether it's in front of you or behind you. Oh, I can see it. Ah, that was good. I needed a good one there. Orbit established. Okay. Let's get it going. Come on. Oh, I was waiting for it to move. That's why. It was on the boundary. It was 50.5. Twice every star day. They move. So if I was going to jump there, he's probably going to move the square. Jump into an empty space. So, okay, come on. Get him. Get it. Thank you. Oh, I've cleared that one. Excellent. I've got a bit of a jump here. So this is another lovely touch. I'm doing a longer jump. Because it's longer, it's harder to control that cursor. The further that you jump, the harder it is to keep that in the centre. How brilliant that is. And then there's the little touch that beep bit changes its length depending on how far you're going. So when you're jumping a long way, you stay in that DDD for a long time. These lovely, beautiful little touches. It was so inspiring. This game inspired me probably more than any other game, ultimately. Now, I lost my photons. I can't fight without photons. You can't do anything. So I had to jump a distance to get to Starbase. I didn't do such a good job there. Go on, get. There. Of course, some of the 3D math is a little bit weird. It's actually probably due to the fact that the space station can't get larger than that size. There's technical reasons why it can't get larger than that size. It's basically a sprite. The Atari hardware, by the way, is beautiful. I made games for it, but were never published. There was a whole shoot 'em up that is lost. There's a ROM somewhere, probably in the possession of the Silica Shop. They have a ROM of this game, whole game that I wrote that is lost to. Never published for the Atari. And so and it's really advanced for its time. It's amazing. It even has a hardware random generator. I'm not joking. It's kind of relevant. You know, where you see those flickering effects. Something you do because they're so cheap. You just read this hardware course and give you a random number and just put it into fill some graphics up with it. So, you know, probably those photons shots that you see with that sort of cool fuzzy effect is probably using the hardware random number generator. I know, I used to do that. Did that in my game. So I think we're doing pretty well here. This guy is... You see how it's difficult to put him in the centre because he's so far away. He's like 800 units away, but he's come. Oh, something else is nearer because it just switched. It's tracking a nearer enemy. Ow! That asteroid got it, didn't it? Okay. One more. The range is only valid when you're pointing at it. So it's some dot product thing going on there. It's probably the distance to your left-right axis. Wonderful. My radio's damaged. Or destroyed. No damage. It's destroyed. You can't see anything. Got So we really need a radio back. So if you could do us the favour of repairing us. Oh, maybe we'll see. We're going to see the little thing. This. Ah, come on. Right, transfer complete. In fact, actually, there's just one sector left. One sector left. This is a long jump. It's all over the place. Such a long jump, it actually went to silence. That thing on the dot there is actually an asteroid. Here they come. One down. There's some numbers there I never look at. The T is actually the number of targets. There's one left in the sector. I should really learn to use those. K is, I think, the number of kills I've had. I never look at those. A velocity. That's the velocity, of course that is. Yeah, I do look at that. There's one guy left. I think this is the last Xylon of the whole mission. Here he comes. No, that was an asteroid. Where is he? He's running away. Look at him go. He's like, I'm low. I'm running away. This is so beautiful. He's trying to escape. I think I'm engaging him now. There he is. Bye bye. Starfleet 2. Star Cruiser 7. Mission complete. New rank is Pilot Class 3. Congratulations. Yay. I'm now Pilot Class 3. Isn't it a lovely experience this is? 1979. Can you imagine what wonderful video games we'll get in the future? I think I might do this again. If you'd like to see more, the adventures of Star Cruiser 7, tune in, I might do it again. Take care, everyone.